You know, when you get this disgusting, don't get too juicy. Now you get excited and start foaming at the mouth and stuff. I know, I sweat in a lot of videos, though, so you'll just have to understand it and go with it. What's up, everybody? It's Tony back with another video, and as you can see, I have a guest here today. This is my sister, Denise. She also has a booktube channel, just in case you want to check it out. It's D, just like the letter D, space, book. Is it Space Nerd?
Yeah, Space.
Okay, so it's D Book Nerd. That's her channel, so check that out when you get a chance. But anyway, today I just kind of wanted to bring her in because you know, she got me into reading and everything, and we have a very different opinion on lots of things.
Yeah.
We're good. We're like BFFs, but we're very, very different. And even our taste in books are extremely different. And so I just wanted to kind of get her take. I want to discuss a book, a very popular book today, and that is The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. And for those of you who have watched any of my videos before, you know Freida McFadden is one of my, out of two only authors that I've read books from. She is one of my favorite authors, and one of her books, another book, The Coworker, is what got me actually started reading. And this actually, I think, was the second book I read. And this, yeah, this is supposed to be like, this is her main book that everybody knows. This is the New York Times bestseller. This is the book that, as far as I know, they're making a movie out of, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
I understand.
And believe it or not, Denise had this book and The Housemaid's Secret. You had it for a while, right? Mm-hmm. For a while, and she just let me borrow those books before she even read them. And so I read them first, and then I was like, oh yeah, this book is bomb or whatever. Right. And then she read it. So let's just kind of start the discussion, because I want to see. We haven't really discussed what your thoughts were on it or anything. So yeah, we haven't talked about it at all. So yeah. I just kind of want to see what our differences of opinion are. So I'll let you just start.
Okay. Well, so we'll probably talk more about this later, but just her becoming a reader is like huge. So I finally have somebody to talk to books about in the house. So this is exciting. So yeah. Look, even if I did like the book, we're going to talk about it, because I finally get to talk to somebody about books. But I love the book. And it was crazy to see her read. Well, first she read The Coworker, which I still need to read. But it was crazy to see her read that and how excited she was. And so that, because I go through my books. I'm a mood reader. And so I might not have really been ready to read it. But I'm like, let me get in here and read this book. Because it's been hyped by a lot of people. Right. And then for her to hype a book, I really had to read it. So I said, like, let me get in here and read this book. And it was everything that she described and more. It's a good book. So we don't agree on a lot of stuff, but I think that we have found an author that we both like, or love, I should say love. We like, I can just see myself just reading all of her books. And she's going to buy a lot of them, so I won't have to buy them. But anyway, so first I just wanted to kind of discuss, like, I know you did a video. Did you do a video on this?
I don't think I did a video specifically on this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I did one, but just recently. But just, like, what's your overall thoughts on the book?
I did love this book, but still, I hold that The Coworker is my favorite book by Freida McFadden so far. Like I always say, I don't know if it's because the first book I ever read, and I just was like, I'm just like, I love a book.
Right.
And so I stand firm on that one. But this book was really good.
Yeah.
It's real good, and I could definitely see a really good movie being made out of it. And I love movies, so I know a lot of book people don't. They think the book is always better than the movie, right? Is that what most people think? Okay, yeah. Well, I might be a little different. I'm new to this, but and I'm not saying this is a bad. Like, again, I love the book, but to me, some things started kind of getting a little unrealistic. Yeah. I don't know if you agree with me. Now, are we doing spoilers in this video?
Yeah, we're going to do spoilers.
Okay, so I think most bookie people have already read this book,
yeah,
right?
We're behind.
Yeah. This is like probably several years old or something, right? Okay.
Maybe one.
So it starts where Millie is the main character. She's the housemaid. And she has like I read this book a while ago, so if I start saying stuff wrong, correct me, please.
Okay.
So she has a criminal record, and it's been really hard for her to get a job. Not to mention, I don't even think she's like educated or anything like that. Is she? No,
so.
she's not.
Yeah.
She actually did time in prison.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
time.
so she's like a felon and everything. It's hard for her to get a job. She doesn't have any education or anything to fall back on. So she does like jobs like, you know, that don't require a specific skill, like working in a restaurant or something like that. And she got fired from her job. She was living in her car, right?
Yeah.
She was living in her car. She's very poor. And so, I don't know, was an ad? She ran into an ad or something about this housemaid job?
I don't remember.
They might not have said it.
It must have been an ad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember how she ran up on it.
Yeah.
It kind of just gets.
You look around, she has an interview.
Yeah,
or
she has
something
an
like
interview.
That. Yeah. So that's where it kind of like starts at, right?
Yeah.
And so the rich family that she's gonna go work for is the Winchesters, right?
Yes.
And so Nina Winchester is the wife, the mom, and she interviews with her, and Nina's just like so nice.
Very nice. Like, oh my goodness, you would want to, you know, if you wanted to become a maid, she would be the maid that you want to
exactly
want to work
right
know, at that home. Not that I'm not down in maid, but I'm just saying that's
a job is a job.
That's where you go and work, wherever you want the best employer.
Exactly.
And that's what she portrayed herself as.
Right. So they have this. So Nina likes her, and I think she hires her like almost immediately or whatever. Yeah. And so they had this big old house, and it wasn't until after she got hired did she do a tour of the house, or
I think it was after,
like a real tour showing her where everything was.
Because if she had to sell that one place,
right,
I wouldn't have took the job. I don't care if I was living in my car.
Exactly. So they have this, and then also keep in mind they also have is it groundsman or something? I don't know what you call him. Groundskeeper or something. His name's Enzo, and he's Italian, and he doesn't speak very good English, right? Okay. So then
he sounds so hot. I can't wait to see in
this
the movie who they
gonna get to play him. I know.
I like Enzo.
Yeah, if they really want to keep it solid, they're going to have to get. Do some good casting for this. Yeah. So anyway, so this is a hot Italian. That's the groundskeeper or whatever. So he's a key person in the book. And so what happens next? She shows her around. This is where it kind of gets kind of creepy, right?
Right.
So what happens?
I think I don't know if Nina knew. I mean, Molly knew she was going to be living there. Millie. Molly.
Molly May. That's what you got.
I hope I didn't say that all throughout my video. I probably did. Knowing me. Oh my God! See,
not Molly May.
I'm not good with names in real life. I'm sure not good.
Excuse me, my necklace just came off.
See,
just
you start saying people's names wrong, still start having it. But I hope I'm so embarrassed. Well, Millie.
Yeah.
What was I saying? I'm so discombobulated. Okay.
She showed her around the house now?
Yeah, so I don't know if Millie knew she was going to be a live-in maid.
Oh,
I want to think that they kind of sprung that. Maybe not.
I'm sure she was happy about it because she was living in a car.
Yeah, so. She was happy about it.
Yeah.
But she didn't, when she showed her spot that she was going to sleep in, it was far different from everything else in the house. So.
Yeah, so.
We're spoilers, so we just
right. Yeah, so the house is big and beautiful, of course. They got money. And so she's showing her all this, this big kitchen, this nice furniture and everything. And I think she probably showed, or at least walked past all the other bedrooms.
Right, all the other bedrooms, including the beautiful guest bedroom.
And Millie was probably waiting for Nina to say, okay, and this is your room or something. Right, the big guest room, but you have to go up some other stairs or something to this like attic area or something.
You open a door, and these stairs, they're not cute like the other stairs.
It's like you're in a whole different crummy place or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then it's a room up there.
Right. So you go in there to the stairs and then up those stairs. And I think it's a little hallway with a bathroom. There's a bathroom in that hallway.
Okay.
In this attic-y like area. And then there's a little room.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Nina shows Millie, the maid, the room. She's like, bam, okay, here's your spot. Right. And Millie's kind of like, what's up with this?
It's a cot.
Yeah.
So it's not a, beauty rest mattress and all that in there. It's a cot in a room.
And a little tiny refrigerator. And I think it had 3 water bottles. Yeah. 3 small water bottles at that.
3 small water bottles. Those little 8 ounce?
Yeah, probably 4 8 ounce or something. Yeah. And so, and I think it had a closet.
It had a closet with a bucket in it.
Yeah, and that's like key. to
Yeah,
parts of the movie
yeah.
or the book. I keep saying movie book. I'm excited when
ready.
movies come. I want a movie.
She
to
want
come
to make
out.
it a movie.
So then, what? I mean, did Millie? I can't remember. I don't even know if they said it. Did Millie kind of express? I know she's happy. Still, this room is probably better than sleeping in a car.
Right, and that's exactly what she thought.
Okay.
She's like, this, is kind of disappointing. Then she kind of rationalizes it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they have guests, they got to sleep in the guest room,
Right.
or somebody rationalized it in the book.
Mm-hmm.
That's said. And then she's kind of like, this is better than sleeping in my car. And like her first night in there, she was so happy to be able to stretch out
yeah.
and lay there. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And then I read the book a long time ago. You kind of read it recently. What happened after that? They start introducing characters like the little bratty daughter.
Right, they introduced little scary Cece, Cecilia.
And she like wears this little white fluffy, like one of them girls on The Shining or whatever.
Yeah, oh God, why
Don't she look like that in your mind or
yes,
whatever? Yeah. A little prissy little girl. She's a total brat, very rude. Starts off on the wrong foot with Millie immediately. And then they kind of introduce the husband. Andrew. And what was he like?
He apparently is very handsome to Millie. He seems very perfect. Perfect husband, despite Nina's flaws. Andrew is very, he's understanding of her. He tries to help her through them. But he also tries to help Millie. So like when she's feeling overwhelmed by Nina's demands, which we haven't really talked about, but he tries to help Millie. So he's just very nice, but he works a lot. He does all of that.
Businessman.
Yes, he's a businessman. So, but yeah, he comes across very, very nice and understanding of everybody.
Right.
And he one of the first kind of encounters we had with him is when something about dinner. Remember, she was feeding the little girl something, and she didn't like. She didn't want to eat it. And so he showed her what she likes, the little chicken nuggets. Yeah. And you had to cook exactly
3 minutes or something like that.
4 of them only, and cook them some kind of way. And then you bring them. He cooked them and did it and took them out to her. And then she ate the chicken nuggets. I don't know where Nina was at.
Probably sitting there being rude or something.
No, okay.
And didn't Nina also say the little girl had a peanut allergy or something?
Yeah, she did.
And one time Millie was trying to make her a sandwich and she never told her she had an allergy or anything.
Yeah, she didn't tell her that.
The girl freaked out and ran and went and told the mom.
Right. She tried to feed me peanut butter.
Right. Yeah.
So then the mom was like, well, I told you. And she was like, you did not tell me she had a peanut butter allergy or peanut allergy.
So just little stuff like that happened. And then like Millie would clean up stuff and Nina would come. You look around, she's messed everything. Stuff was just all over the floor.
Yep.
Bathroom all nasty.
Very nasty.
Disgusting. Everything in the kitchen would be thrown out of the cupboards and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. And one time even Millie, like the first, I think, incident when Millie realized, I'm in a, crazy house. She came downstairs and Nina was down there throwing pots and pans, like everything out and pouring milk or something on the floor. She was doing everything, like everything she could to make it a mess. Okay. So yeah.
So then what starts happening when it starts getting to the real plot of it?
Just really, and this, I want your take on this. Because to me, it just started being a series of these types of incidences. And pretty soon I'm like, okay, we've had about 20 of these. When we going to get to the crux of why this is happening? Because this is my whole thing. I was going through it like, why is this happening? Why is she doing this? And because everybody always says there's twists, I'm like, well, she's crazy, clearly. But we know it's obviously not obviously her, So it just was like a series of that kind of stuff. The house being a mess, the bathroom being a mess, the her just being mean to her. I did not, like she was supposed to pick up Cece from school. And then when she got there, one of the PTA moms or somebody, she was picking her up or going to take her to some practice. Right. And so then when Millie was like insistent, no, I'm supposed to get her. And then one of the PTA moms or whatever called Nina. And then they're kind of like talking like, you can't get good help, kind of thing. Right. And then Nina was like, I told you, to make her look like she was. Right. Yeah. So all these kind of twisted mind game type things. So.
Well, it's funny that you brought that up because that's like one of the things, like I said, I love Freida McFadden's books, but I don't, any book when it starts just kind of dragging. Right. And I felt we got the point. Nina's obviously crazy or
Right,
whatever.
right.
She's mean. You know. Okay, so when are we gonna get? We seen that. You
Right.
could tell that like the first time,
Right,
the first
right.
couple incidents or whatever.
Right.
Like I said, it just kept dragging and dragging.
Right, right.
So I felt some of that could have been cut out or
Right,
something
right.
to kind of just keep it going and
Yeah.
just getting to the point of
Right,
it.
right.
You know, but whatever.
Right. And not that I didn't enjoy it.
Right.
But it's just like, it just went, there's just so many. I'm just like, okay, why? What's happening?
Exactly.
What's really going on?
Exactly.
So,
And then, in addition to when she was talking, when Millie was talking to those PTA moms when she went to go pick up the daughter, I don't know if this was that time, but didn't some of them mention that Nina was crazy
they
or something
did.
like that?
Yeah, they did.
Didn't you know Nina was crazy?
Right,
or, You know,
right.
she had been in some psych
A mental
ward or something like that.
institution,
Yeah.
And Millie even found her antipsychotic meds and stuff.
Okay,
So,
right.
yeah. And so then she started kind of feeling sorry for her. So my question to you, like, what did you think? Because, and you had said this in like one of your videos and even just told me personally, you said nobody in the book is perfect. So even like in the book, you know, clearly Millie's supposed to be the protagonist. She's the hero. Or
Right.
but she's not perfect. You know, like she's not this Cinderella, some angel.
Right.
What did you think about that?
I actually, in a lot of Freida McFadden books, it's like that. They're protagonists or whatever you call them in the book world,
Right.
whatever. They, yeah, they're supposed to be the hero or the good person or whatever, but they have these, either they have a dark past and then they also do some kind of, to me, skanky things.
Right,
Or whatever, because we didn't get to this part yet, but,
Right.
so we said Andrew, the husband, is all good looking and stuff. Well, later on in the story, Nina had took the little girl off to some camp or something. She was gonna be
Right.
gone like at least a day or two.
Right, right.
And so they had it was some mix up in a schedule. Of course, Nina was wrong.
Right.
And Millie had bought the tickets for the wrong night of some opera or
Right,
something like
right.
that.
It was the right night, but
Yeah, but-
Nina made it like
right,
it was the
right,
wrong
right.
night. So
And so it just so happens that this was kind of like predictable to me.
right.
Andrew's like, you know, I don't remember if this is all what was said, but basically, in a nutshell, let's not waste this money. Let's go to the opera.
Right.
Andrew and Millie the maid.
Right.
Going to go to the opera.
Originally, he told Millie to go by herself.
Oh, okay, he
But
did.
she didn't want to go by herself. She said she didn't have any friends and all this and that.
Okay, so they went together. And they had to stay in a hotel for some reason.
Right, right. Because he had booked the hotel for them, you know, him and his wife
Right.
to have a getaway.
Uh-huh.
And then I think they both got tipsy because they went to dinner after
Right,
the thing.
right.
And so they didn't want to drive all the way. So, you know, back home. I think it must have been out of the city or
Right,
something.
right.
And so they stayed at the hotel.
Okay, and so need we say any more what
No,
happened?
we
They
don't
was
just
drunk
say.
and in a hotel room together, the maid and the husband. And so
Fade to black.
Right. So Millie, you know, she's the hero in the story and everything, though, but she wasn't all that either. She's definitely not perfect. And in Freida McFadden books, a common twist is that everybody has a dark side. And even at the end of her stories, when everything's all said and done, she'll have more, like an epilogue or some more to the story. And the person that you thought was the hero or nice or at least semi-nice, they'll have this dark part about them as well.
Wow.
That's like in a lot of her books, actually. Her books are so twisted, you don't know who's right and who's wrong
Right,
sometimes.
right. And I like that.
Yeah.
I kind of like
Yeah.
it because it just, you know, kind of just shows real human behavior.
Right.
You know,
Nobody's
you know, you
perfect.
get irritated, but that's what you want in the book. You know, no, she didn't.
Yeah.
You know, because she had been eyeballing Andrew for a
The
while.
whole time, yeah.
And then he's being nice to her when the wife is being mean. So it's a perfect storm happening. But it doesn't make it, you know, right
Right.
at all. But I kind of think that's cool how she does that because, you know, then when Nina, you know, did what she did, you kind of, it brings out the ugly in you. You kind of like, well, you know, she shouldn't have did, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, you just have to evaluate your own self after you're done reading Freida McFadden.
Right. Yeah, no, you do, for real. And then it
So,
would
like-
to me, the story would have been corny if Millie was all perfect. And at
Right.
the end, she ran away off. You know, they moved to a big house with a white picket fence. Her
Right,
and her husband
right,
or something like
right.
that. You're like, I would have been like, this is corny.
Right, right.
So it makes it better
Right.
that she had like a dark side to her.
Right,
to me.
right, right.
So where were we? So they, you know, screwed around in the hotel or whatever, then they came back. And then, so what? Then what was the twist of it, you know?
Oh, this is where it gets real twisty.
Okay.
And you know, It's a lot. Like, so Nina comes back, and the little girl's still at camp. So Nina just went like for a night or two,
Right.
to make sure she got settled in. And then something blow up happens, and Nina brings up, "I know you're an ex-con."
Oh yeah. Okay.
So then the girl is all, oh,
No.
she's feeling scared, and Nina never really fired her. So then all of a sudden Andrew, she's like berating Nina. Nina's berating Millie. Molly, I just can't get that. And so then Andrew finally steps in, and he's like, "I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. We're not working." And she's like, "Is it because of Millie?" And he's like, "No. It's all this crazy behavior. Her little white shirts aren't white anymore.
Wrong buttons.
Yeah. Her hair is got gray like mine, showing the roots and stuff. So he doesn't like that. And so, and just, it makes it like he's just sick of her being a mean person. She's mean to him, and making the daughter grow up being mean and everything. And so he's like, you got go. He tells her to get out. Remember?
Right.
So she leaves. She packs her stuff and act like she's really mad at Millie, and she's leaving and whatever. And then so it's Millie and him, and Millie has in her head, now I got him, and
Ka-ching.
and that he's just on her side, and so they kind of go then to the point of view of Nina. Nina's sitting up in the hotel chilling,
Happy.
She's happy. So this is what it gets. This is what, for me, this is what I like about Freida McFadden. Everything blows my mind.
Right.
Like, it's constant. Like, first it's just like, why is she doing this? Why? And then we haven't even got to Enzo. He's sometimes he had told Nina danger or some kind of word.
Millie.
Yeah. He told her, because he can't speak English.
Right.
And he said some type of word, and it meant danger or something in Italian. And so, and then sometimes he's just staring at her, or, grab her, or you're in,
And Nina wouldn't let him in the house.
Yeah,
she didn't like him to be in the house.
Right. And so you had that happening. And so, anyway, so Nina is at the hotel, and she's relaxed and happy. And so then it gets to why she's happy. But then, then it goes back to them being at the house. Millie and Andrew, they get together again, they have their little intimate relations or what have you. And they have the relations in her little dungeon. Yeah, they have it in the
I don't
cot.
remember that part.
Yeah. And then, she all snuggled up and happy and stuff. She wakes up, Andrew's out, and he's not in the cot anymore. And guess what? Do you remember?
Did she try to go open the door?
Yeah.
And it was locked. And this door in her little attic room locks from the outside.
It locks from the outside. Yeah. And didn't she have the key? But it did her no good.
Yeah, if you inside it,
right.
No good, right?
So now her fear all this time is thinking Nina was going to lock her in that thing. There was something, and even me, I thought she's going to get locked up in there. So she's locked up in there, and he told her she made a mistake or something like that. She did. Now, what was her mistake?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. She made a mistake. So now we go back to Nina. Nina is going through everything she's been through with Andrew. So all that, the white clothes and the everything, that's Andrew. That's how he wanted her to be. Her hair perfect, that's how he wanted her to be. So she needed a way to get rich. He's rich. He has everything. She doesn't see a way to get out of that marriage. So she needed Andrew to focus on somebody else.
Right.
So she could get out. She was scared for her daughter because her daughter was acting crazy. Now we see why. Everybody, he wanted her to wear those little itchy, scary movie doll clothes.
Right. And then we find out that the daughter wasn't even his real daughter. Yes.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Now, whose daughter was that?
They never said, but
okay,
yeah.
I think I tried to make it Enzo's, but it wasn't.
No.
I was still trying to tie Enzo into this somehow.
No.
But somehow then Nina ends up talking to Enzo and telling her what she did. No, or Enzo, because Enzo was concerned. He knew Nina had left, and so he thought I'm getting ahead of ourselves. So Millie's locked in the room.
Okay, yeah.
And now we're getting to see the real Millie, which is kind of real. I don't cuss, but I want to say the BA word, bad blank. It's real boss. That's
She's a
the
boss,
word.
yeah.
She's a boss. And so I was just like, this part gives me chills because he thought, now, okay, let's get back to Nina.
Okay.
He tortured Nina. Anytime she did something just minutely wrong, he would put her in that room and lock it, and she'd have 3 waters, and she'd have to perform certain things to be able to get out of the room. I forgot some of the stuff. Just crazy. Like she couldn't eat, or what was it?
I don't.
It was like
but just
real
crazy
mean,
stuff.
bizarre stuff. And you didn't get it right. She had to pull one hair at a time out of her hair.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then he counted all of them, and she was off one. So then she had to stay there a little longer with no food and whatever else he had her doing. To pull out 100 more.
Right.
And so. And every time this happened to her, she would get tortured. He never really did that to the daughter, but the daughter would know if she did something, all of a sudden the mom
would disappear and be locked up in the attic. Yeah.
So this is some real psycho stuff. So Nina ends up talking with Enzo, and Enzo was like, I think, Millie is locked in the room. And Nina was like, well, she cheated with my husband, so whatever. And he's like, that's not right. We can't let her get killed, or tortured like this. And, she's kind of thinking about it. But what they didn't know is that Millie ended up tricking Andrew into that room. Because he had her, remember, putting those books on top of her stomach. Because I don't know what she did wrong.
Right.
And so when she completed her task... Finally, after a lot of torture, he let her out, and somehow she tricked him in.
Right.
And she locked him in.
Right.
And then she started having him do
crazy.
tasks.
It was like crazy, like something from Saw.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Like,
yeah,
it was crazy. And so, it just kept going. It was just like, so then now he's trapped in the room. Millie's in control. Millie is a boss, in the... not so good. I guess it's kind of great because Andrew shouldn't have been doing all that.
Right.
He didn't know what he was dealing with. She went to prison for murder.
Right.
And she had other incidences in her life where and rightfully so, like men attacked a friend, so she would get that man, and beat him but it always went a little
further,
too far.
Right,
so yeah. So anyway, then Nina goes to save her. You don't remember all this?
No, I don't.
So and Enzo was gonna go too, but Nina's like, stay with the little girl.
Okay.
Now, do you remember why Enzo couldn't come in the house?
No.
Because obviously Nina and Enzo is cool. They're cool. But I forgot.
I think it was Andrew who didn't want him in the house. Yeah.
So, she trusted Enzo enough to watch the little girl at the hotel or something, or wherever. And all the neighborhood women liked Enzo too,
right?
Like, where they all hired him and stuff. We need to hire an Enzo in our neighborhood.
Yeah, definitely.
So she went and tried. She's like, I'm gonna go help her. It's my thing. I'm gonna go help her. If I end up in the room or dying, that's what I gotta do. So now Nina turned into the nice person,
right?
And so she goes in there, and I think Millie pulled a gun on her because she thought she was coming to be mean to her again. Right. But she was like, she was trying to save her, so she ends up going to and Millie might have ran off because she was really scared about going back to prison. Right. Very scared about going back to prison. So she might have ran away. I can't remember that part.
I know.
Because the last part it goes to is that Nina opens that door and Andrew's in there. And he's dead, and his teeth are missing.
Yeah, all his teeth is missing. That just tells you what Millie was having him do, like pluck out his teeth with some pliers or something like that. Yeah.
So it doesn't stop there.
It doesn't stop there. Nope.
So then the funeral, Nina's at the funeral, and they're looking at the body or whatever you do, and then the mom looks at her or something. Is that how it happened? She makes that comment.
Something about, well, he shouldn't have did.
Yeah, you did the right thing. He should have that's what I used to do, or something, make him, you know, pay for his whatever. Basically, it's saying that she used to do that to Andrew, and that's why he was crazy.
Yeah, he was crazy because his mom was crazy and used to torture him.
Yeah.
And do that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we went through the whole. This is long.
I know this is a long video, but yeah, so honestly, I thought we were gonna disagree on some things, but it looks like we actually agree on a lot of it. Yeah. So it was good. So like, you've read a million more books than I have. Like, how many stars do you give this, or where does this rate in a lot of the books, especially like thriller like books that you've read?
It's definitely one of the top thrillers I've ever read. I can clearly see why there's this hype about Freida McFadden. I gave it 4.5 to 5 between that. The only reason why I didn't give it 5, really it could be a 5, is because I felt like, you know, it just went a little long in the middle with all those different, you know, just Nina acting crazy over and over, and people telling her she's crazy. I mean, like, you know, pretty soon it's just like, let's just see why. You know, I just want to know why. And I knew it wasn't her. I didn't know if Enzo was I didn't know who. I kept trying to make him, and then I made him the baby dad. I kept trying to involve him. I thought he somehow was bad.
Right.
But then I kind of figured it was Andrew, but I didn't think it was going to be that crazy. And I still didn't understand why that would make her act that way towards the woman.
Exactly.
And like, Millie dressed dowdy on purpose. And Nina saw all through that. All she said, but you could see her beauty through it.
Right.
She knew Andrew would fall for her type.
Exactly. So her plan, what she wanted to do, it worked.
Yeah. So her even hiring her was part of the plan.
Yeah.
So I thought it was brilliant. It's definitely one of the best thrillers I've read. I definitely would say that.
Yeah.
And I've read a lot. Like I talked about a book called The Last Word. I think that you should read that.
Okay.
I forgot the name. I think Taylor somebody. I think you'll like that. Okay. And that was crazy. But this is easier to read.
Okay, I like easy to read.
Right.
Books, so.
And see, I don't mind complicated and all of that, but yeah, I don't mind. That's where we kind of differ. Is I don't mind a little complicated.
Easy to read.
Yeah.
And not any bigger than this.
Right. I prefer they stay that size too. But
yeah. So yeah, that's basically our little discussion of The Housemaid.
Thanks for, even though I bought it, thanks for your high recommendation.
Yeah, thank you for loaning it to me. I don't know if I would have, reading the back, honestly, this wouldn't have been probably one of the first books that I picked to read from Freida McFadden, to be completely honest. But it turned out to be really good. I would say this one probably is, Coworker still number 1 to me, but this one's probably the next one. So
I gotta read
it's pretty
Coworker.
good. It's pretty good.
And I see it both. I see a lot of people say, no, the Housemaid is the best one. Then I've seen other people say the Coworker has got me back into reading and all this kind of stuff. I mean, like, not just you, but I like seeing other booktubers say that's why they started reading. No, the Housemaid was why they started reading, but the Coworker somebody else did say on, I think, Facebook. So I got to read that.
But anyway, so if you have read The Housemaid, I really want to hear what your opinion is. So go ahead and drop a comment. If you think it's all that, if you don't think it's all that, or whatever, I want to hear your opinion. Also, maybe let me know what you think about the plot twist. Was it unrealistic, or you know? I always say unrealistic because or whatever. But it's not unrealistic, I guess. But I don't know. But anyway, if you like this video, thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber to my channel, go ahead and click on the subscribe button and notification button so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Again, this is my sister Janice. She has a booktube channel, The Book Nerd. I'm gonna put them words across there so they know. Check her channel out. And you guys know me. I'm only into thrillers. I'm only into thrillers right now. And Denise reads all thrillers, mystery, romance, young adult. She used to read all the Harry Potter stuff. She reads a little bit of everything. If you want more variety, honestly, you probably want to check out her channel. But anyway, that's it, and I will see you in the next video.